We are getting ready now to introduce Miss Claudia Scharf, who is going to present about how to leverage paid loyalty in hospitality. So she is a director of customer success at Loyalty Prime, Germany. And so I'm really excited because I think loyalty is a big, big topic when kind of just how Lauren hinted at. This is something that maybe loyalty was lacking in the beginning of COVID due to the amount of travel restrictions and closures and everything else. So now people don't know where to go. They don't know, all the good stuff. Who's coming back when things open up? So Claudia, the floor is yours, and I'm excited to see and hear your presentation today.
Thanks, Will. Thanks for the introduction. Warm welcome from myself, as Will said, right now here from Germany. And I'm happy to talk to you today about how to leverage paid loyalty in hospitality. Just a few more words about myself. I have a background in marketing and consulting, but my heart really beats for loyalty. And that's why I found the perfect opportunity at Loyalty Prime. Loyalty Prime is a loyalty technology provider in the cloud. But now let's have a look at today's topic. I want to start together with you to have a look into the history of hotel loyalty before we then secondly look into subscription, paid loyalty. So what is it actually about? How does it work? Then afterwards, we will check if there is a need to change for hotels, to change, for instance, the existing rewards program or to start a new loyalty program. And last but not least, we look into the benefits of paid loyalty and the different value propositions hotels can apply. So let's get started and take a walk down loyalty lane, because hotels have been among the pioneers of loyalty marketing. They've been paving the way for many other industries to come. So the very first one wasn't a hotel, it was American Airlines in 1981. But fast followed by Holiday Inn, Marriott, Continental, and Hilton, introducing their loyalty or rewards programs. It took another 16 years before the UK drugstore Boots introduced its loyalty programs. So you can really say hotel, travel and hospitality have been paving the way. Fast forward to today, not that much has changed though. You don't get me wrong, so the programs have evolved a lot. The hotels have added more rewards opportunities. They even got into gamification, but the type and the program type itself remained the same, which is points and tiers. But actually there are so many other program types out there. You could think about subscription programs, paid programs we will talk about today, or cashback programs. So we will really look into if there's a possibility for hotels to look beyond points and tiers and see what other program types are out there. And in order to do this, let's first of all have a look at subscription itself and these paid loyalty programs, what they are about. I was doing some research for the webinar because actually I didn't know this myself. We all know subscription as the business model, and it has its origin in the 17th century, which was quite new to me. It started in the bookselling industry. So back then, authors created lists which customers had to sign and obviously pay, and then they could get a book. This subscription business model over the time got fine-tuned by especially telecommunications industry, media and entertainment. And then, as we all know, Netflix, Spotify, and especially the newspaper industry has perfected this business model. Then in 2005, Amazon was one of the first to apply this business model to their loyalty program, Amazon Prime. So, and applied to the loyalty context, it basically means that it's a loyalty program where members have to pay a fee, a recurring fee for benefits they can access instantly. And this is, you could really say, the complete opposite of all the other programs which follow the principle or the mechanism transaction first, rewards later. After Amazon started in 2005, it took another 10 years before other retailers followed. eBay Plus, you can see some here on the slide. eBay Plus followed in 2015, Zalando Plus in 2018. And now recently, we also see quick service restaurants following. We had Burger King starting its coffee subscription in 2019. And then Panera Bread, they recently launched at the beginning of the pandemic, 2020, or Kauai Coffee in South Africa, who launched just a couple of weeks ago their subscription, their coffee and smoothie subscription. So this time it wasn't hotels paving the way, but retailers and quick service restaurants, but hotels could still jump on board. And the big question is, do they need to jump on board? Is there a need to actually change or further evolve the existing rewards programs or to even start a new program? And in order to answer this question, I want to look at two dimensions. Are we meeting the needs of our customers, and are we meeting the needs of our shareholders? Let's have a quick look at customers first. Our customers obviously want to have an attractive and relevant loyalty program. And according to the latest research, some studies found that the average consumer belongs to 14.8 programs, but they are only active in less than half of them. And Capgemini actually supports these findings, finding 54% of memberships inactive. So it looks like most of the companies are actually not delivering on this request, and don't offer such an attractive and relevant program. Looking at our shareholders and CFOs, they're always questioning us about points liability and return on investment. I know from my own customer meetings, both can become headache material. So I was looking into the deferred revenue of some of the biggest hotel programs. And as you can see, the points programs created quite some liabilities at the end of 2019. So also here, it might be questionable, or at least we could review our existing programs to really check if these are future-proof. And as we're all here also today and in this webinar to get new things, or to learn about new things and to get to know new things. So why not look into paid loyalty? And let's have a look. What could be possible use cases or value propositions you can apply in order to evolve your program or start with a paid loyalty program? Before we get into these five, generally let's go a little bit a step back. What are loyalty programs? Generally, the idea of a loyalty program is that it's a kind of value exchange. Customers remain loyal to your brand in return for discounts, benefits, experiences, or any other value proposition. And if customers now have to pay for this value proposition, we really need to make sure that this value proposition is worthwhile. And that's why we identify these five packages. The first one is usage, which basically means members could, for instance, enjoy a certain discount for each booking, or they are entitled to a number of hotel nights at a discounted rate. So this means, for instance, they either get a 5% on each booking if they pay a monthly or an annual fee, or they can enjoy 5 nights per month on by paying a monthly fee. Hotels could even think about creating subscription passes for certain target groups. So there might be the leisure pass with 2 nights, or the business pass with 10 nights included, or there might even be the neighborhood pass for people living close by, so that they can enjoy a discounted breakfast or a gym membership by paying a monthly fee. The second one is the service subscription. Here, the idea is that hotels can package any kind of service into a product. And members could, for instance, by paying a membership fee, they can then access the club lounge, upgraded rooms, or late checkout. This is not necessarily new. A lot of hotels doing this already in the one or other way, as well as airlines, but it could definitely be further extended. The third one is exclusivity. This basically means that instead of achieving, for instance, the gold tier by collecting points, members could get into the status right away by paying a monthly fee and also then enjoy the benefits instantly. The fourth option is a bundle. Obviously, you can combine any of these three packages in order to make sure that the value you're giving, the rewards you're offering your customers are really worthwhile. Now you could say, okay, these four probably work really well if you start from scratch and don't have a rewards program already. And as we've seen, most of the hotels actually have already a points and tiers based program. So that's why we have the fifth option, which is called coexistence. And here the idea is that a free program and a paid program can obviously coexist seamlessly. So you could, for instance, think about a tier-based program where you add a paid tier on top. So that means members could decide if they want to climb the tiers by collecting points, or if they want to pay a monthly fee to immediately get to the paid tier. So these are the five value propositions we identified you could use to leverage paid loyalty. And now I have one last question I would like to answer with you, or would like to look into with you. What are now the benefits if you really get into paid loyalty? And we believe it's a win-win situation for hospitality and guests. And let's start with hospitality first. So we think with a paid program, you will really attract your best customers. It will be less members than you see right now, but it will definitely be the most loyal ones. And also your costs will obviously less too, as you give out rewards to less members. And do not drag along members who only signed up for the welcome bonus. You also will create retention and stickiness. When members have to pay a fee, they will really make sure to get the most out of their investment and to leverage or to use basically all the offerings you provide. You will also increase engagement, because one of the good things about paid loyalty is that members can access benefits right away. So once they paid the fee, so you will really see an increase here too. And last but not least, given the fact that most of the programs are currently points and tiers, you can definitely also use this as a unique selling point and differentiate from other hotel programs. Overall, we think you will see an increased revenue and an continuous income stream from the membership fee. Now you can say, okay, this sounds nice, and you said we believe, but let's have a look at some stats if this is really true in practice. First of all, looking at Amazon, who started in 2005, by now they have reached 150 million subscribers, and they report that their members spend 5 times more than non-members. And in 2018, their subscription revenues accounted for 6.1%, which is actually 40 billion, so quite a lot. Now you could say, okay, I don't want to compare myself with Amazon, so let's look at some other examples. I looked at Restoration Hardware. They also have a paid loyalty program, and they're reporting that 95% of their business is driven by their 400,000 subscribers. Then we have Panera Bread, who started last year. And according to their first test, subscription boosted frequency by 200%, and the food attachment to coffee orders grew by 70%. And last but not least, CVS, the American drugstore, they report that members spend 4 times more than non-members. So much about the hotels. Now let's have a look at the guests, how they are benefiting. So one thing I said already, the good thing is members can really access benefits and gratifications instantly, and depending on the value proposition, even 24/7. So they don't need to wait for points to unlock or for the status level upgrade to happen. Additionally, you will also keep the feeling of exclusivity, as members will really be recognized as your most valuable members. And overall, they really benefit from attractive and more generous rewards due to being part of a paid program. One of the things you might wonder is, are members actually or guests actually willing to pay a fee? And also here we have some statistics. According to a study, 62% of respondents would sign up for a fee-based program. And this figure jumps even to 75% among millennials. And roughly the same percentages also confirm that they believe the rewards of a paid program are more valuable than the rewards of a free program. So here we also definitely see that customers and guests are open to paid loyalty programs. Exactly, and this will bring me to the end of the presentation. And just one more thing to which is might be open. So what has Loyalty Prime to do with all this? In case or if hotels still run their loyalty program on legacy solutions or might don't have a loyalty program yet at all, this is where Loyalty Prime can come in and be a possible solution. Our cloud platform can host various program types, subscription points, tiers, and we can really provide you the flexibility you need in today's world. Yeah, now I would actually be really interested in your questions. Also interested to hear if you have started already with subscription or paid loyalty. And in general, if you have any questions, you can ask them right now or also later on reach out to us and let us know what are your first steps with subscription. Handing back to Will.
That's awesome. Thank you, Claudia. Yeah, this is a great setup for Mr. Ross for Bidroom right after your presentation. But also for you, I want to kind of bring up as your presentation was going on, with subscription, with this type of new plan instead of just a loyalty points program, it kind of gives that ease of purchase, kind of like how you mentioned Amazon. We could even bring up Airbnb on how it's super easy for the traveler, the consumer, to pretty much do click, book. Like it's very, very simple. So do you think this is also going to play into how whether people or hotels have subscription plans is going to play into how guests are wanting to book with this type of loyalty subscription model in their travelers, whether they're avid travelers or just kind of the one vacation every year?
Generally, I really can think about this. There was actually one quote, I didn't mention it in my talk, which was from Restoration Hardware, and they believe that the subscription program is actually fostering simplicity. So that they were saying our customers look for simplicity and they want to avoid customers looking through different kinds of promotions and advertisement, and just being part of a subscription program makes it easier for them. And if you now say you're even streamlining the booking process and make it easier, for instance, with the help of a subscription program, I definitely could think that this can be a way forward, and generally would also agree that every one of us is looking for more simplicity in today's world with all the information and everything going on around us.
Yeah. And I've seen at least a couple companies that come up with like a travel passport option, which is a subscription based, but also tier based or program where people can pay a monthly fee, let's say $3,500, and travel within the North American region for this said brand and their properties around different states and countries, or not countries, but states and cities. And so, do you think this will be something that continues into, or maybe become an evolution of the subscription, like a basic subscription plan turning into a travel premium?
Generally, I think a lot can happen with subscription because at least what we see, it's really gaining momentum. So I see more and more companies exploring this either as a business model or really as part of loyalty. So definitely, I'm actually looking forward how this is evolving over time, and how, for instance, hotels now explore this new opportunities, or also other industries. So yeah, totally agree.
Well, and brings another point to mind is that for the hotels that maybe have seasonal occupancy, this is something that could be a good steady cash flow or stream for revenue during those downtimes, or even whether they're I think revenue management is such a complex thing, but if you have a guaranteed set of revenue coming in from subscribers, kind of like how you said Amazon, how their subscriptions are huge. They have a 150 million, which increases a lot of revenue for them, whether the guest or the customer is not buying. But then they're actually ending up buying more, or you said 5 times more, correct?
Yeah.
Wow, 5 times more than a non-Prime member. So I can only imagine what that would do for a hotel brand that is.
I think you definitely create the stickiness, because if I would now sign up for a hotel program let's say I get the discounted rate on nights, I would try to always book with them. So you have the stickiness, and obviously there are periods I'm not traveling, but when I look at the value proposition of the program, I will make the math in my head and see, okay, is this program valuable for me? And then I sign up, and then the hotel can really be sure that they see this incoming revenue stream every month. So I really think it can be a win-win if it's a good value proposition they come up with.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that is great. I think we have one question that came through the Q&A. What do you give people who aren't traveling but are subscribed to a hotel or hotel group program?
So if you have already one before the pandemic and now basically the pandemic hit, I mean, you could think about changing the value proposition. One thing I was mentioning is the neighborhood pass for people living close by so that they can at least use even gyms and things were closed. But this is one thing you can explore if there's anything you can do for the people living close by. And then for not traveling at all, actually, we also would need to think how you can change this around. I mean, that's actually a really good question. I probably take this with me and answer in the chat in a couple of minutes, just to brainstorm a bit what else you can offer then to the customers.
Definitely. I know, for just to kind of help with that part, I know hotels that have that kind of like subscription model for those customers, but for those who don't travel as much or can't travel, but they are in the local destination, they get more of the perks of the like discount coffee and
Yeah, kind of partners. Yeah, that's actually one thing I was thinking about. You could obviously partner with other companies and then offer perks and benefits from them. This is obviously always a possibility to then use partnerships.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Claudia, for your time for the presentation. It was such a pleasure to meet you, and I'm excited to explore this topic again more.